Man, if you have not yet began to follow your key awakening, you most definitely need to start following this God right now. Not now, but right now. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, man, he is exactly what this planet needed in terms of getting back toward the holistic side of things. All right? He's most definitely what I would consider to be an expert in his field. All right? And so today, the video that we're going to be watching is going to be him explaining estrogen and how it affects the male, okay? But not just any male, specifically the black male, all right? And so with that being said, let's go ahead and just jump right into this.
So estrogen in men. So again, estrogen in women is supposed to grow their hips. It widens out their hips, get them ready for a baby. It grows their breasts. It makes them more sexually attractive for a man can look at the woman. And that's another thing. A lot of women are now saying that, you know, all men want is sex. I mean, on a primitive level, that's all men's supposed to want. A man look at a woman, he look at how sexually attractive she is. The first thing he think of is reproducing. You know, we think sex is something else, which it is when you get into the higher spiritual realms, but you know, it's for reproducing, entering.
Yes, we know that most definitely. When we talk about intercourse, you have to understand that that's for two spiritual beings that vibrate at the same frequency to make connection more on a spiritual level. Okay, so more physical beings who vibrate at the same frequency to make, it's all about spiritual connection, and it's more so all about the reproduction side of things. So yes, it's a little bit more than that when you get more into the spirituality of things, but I do understand where he's coming from.
To the course. So of course a man is going to look at you and see a round behind and see some plump breasts and want to make love. It's in his entire DNA to repopulate, to make sure that his genealogy is living forever. So anyways, so in women, it's supposed to get her ready for reproducing. In males, it's supposed to do the same thing, but too much of it in males, remember you have adipose tissues, and these adipose tissues in males starts over accumulating for it can make sure it holds in estrogen. So estrogen in men is supposed to kick on testosterone when it's at a little, but when it's too high, it overpopulates testosterone and it makes testosterone go low. Testosterone and zinc and iron phosphate and magnesium is actually what creates seminal fluid. Seminal fluid is then goes into the prostate and it creates your ejaculation fluid for you can have semen, for you can actually have a baby. So estrogen lowers your semen count. It sterilizes you. Not only that, it grows visceral fat, meaning that it literally can grow breasts, or you see a lot of men getting butts now. And
yes, that is a big thing. And I want y'all to understand, this is being done strategically. Notice how estrogen is being placed in every single thing. One thing I've noticed was how it's being sold at a large amount when it comes to the penitentiaries. Okay? They eat a lot of estrogen inside of those places.
Shrinks the penises. We have lost over 2 inches in width and girth of penis in black males within the last 10 years. That's great. We're losing our penises. All right, well, not only that, estrogen, it messes with the DNA, and now a lot of males are losing something called the Y chromosome. If you look at embryology, when an embryo turns 6 weeks, that determination factor is when, because all embryos starts off phenic. They all starts off as feminine, females. Then at the 6-week mark, if a Y chromosome is added to the X chromosome, that's where you get an actual male from. Well, we are starting to lose that Y chromosome, and scientists is just now figuring out why. It's because the overpopulation of estrogen that men are taking. So now you start looking at this vegan movement. The vegan movement, where they pushing all these synthetic estrogen burgers, synthetic estrogen meat, synthetic estrogen corn, synthetic everything got estrogen. They pumping estrogen into everything. And we don't see what they're doing. They even putting it in meat now. They're putting sexual estrogen hormones in your chickens.
See, me personally being a vegetarian, man, I could never get with the processed meats. I've tried them, but I could just never get with them because in my mind, I don't know if I'm eating human meat or what. I mean, and some of the things that I've tasted have been extremely close to meat. But what he's saying does make sense, okay? You have to understand, they've spent tons of money on social engineering, all right? And so you don't think that they see majority of the planet starting to raise in its frequency and more people are starting to get toward the organic side of things in terms of eating naturally? It's a lot of people that are swaying away from meat, and they want to make sure that they cross every T and dot every I. And with that being said, it's easy for me to understand that why they're starting to target more of the vegan food.
Because chickens are not growing fast enough. Remember that estrogen is a cellular proliferator. It grows things just like L-arginine and L-lysine. So what they do is if a chicken is not growing fast enough for them to be able to put it on a production table for what they call them, hot wings and all, for all these different restaurants can have their hot wings for us to eat. In order for them to grow fast and have quick production, they pump them with sexual hormones.
So it's a steroid.
It's a straight steroid called estrogen. And steroids are made by something called cholesterol. So you can even get these steroids if you wasn't in the sun because it's all synthesized by something called vitamin D. And the only way you can get vitamin D is by tyrosine and melanin converting with the sun. So plants go through something called photosynthesis and we go through something called biosynthesis. When we go through biosynthesis, our vitamin D synthesizes what you would call cholesterol. This cholesterol, some of it turns into melanin, be stored up for skin pigmentation, but the other ones create your sexual hormone. Estrogen, pregnenolone, progesterone, and testosterone. What they are doing though, they're making synthetic estrogen and they're putting it in all of our foods. And when you look at estrogen, it acts as a phytate, meaning it blocks minerals, especially in men. It blocks iron phosphate, it blocks selenium and magnesium. Selenium is inside of your melanin. Like if you check a Caucasian inside their melanin, they have sulfur and ammonia. Inside of your melanin, you have something called selenium. This actually protects you from the environment. So it's like not only is they killing our blackness while pumping us with estrogen, but they're turning us back into females while pumping us with estrogen. And they're making us accumulate a lot of this visceral fat. So we grow man boobs, our penises are shrinking, our butts are getting bigger. We're literally going through like a backwards mutation, man, back into females. Dealing with estrogen. So I say avoid estrogen at all costs. And I say women avoid synthetic estrogen at all costs. Males need to be higher in testosterone and women need to be higher in progesterone, not estrogen. Estrogen is very acidic. Testosterone is acidic too, but man need that acidic side of chemistry to keep him a man.
And so I keep telling you guys, everything that is being done right now is being done from a strategic standpoint. They know what they're doing by putting liquor stores in certain communities, making drugs easily accessible in certain communities. It's all about chemical warfare, right? That, coincided with the liquor and things like that is a major setup for destruction, okay? And now, as we see, they're even starting to target the food. I've been seeing this for the past last year when I received that download, okay? So, it's time for us to begin to wake up. Wake up, bro. And if you ain't following the guy, man, make sure you go over there and follow him, man, because he's most definitely going to get you straight, all right? And so with that being said, man, I just want to leave you guys as I came. I want you guys to always be aware, because to be aware is to be alive. And as always, peace, family. Peace meaning positive energy always creates elevation. Ashay.